238. Make an island unto yourself. Strive hard and become wise. Read of impurities and cleansed of stain. You shall not come again to birth and decay. 239. One by one, little by little, moment by moment, a wise man should remove his own impurities, as a smith removes his dross from silver. 240. Just as rust arising from iron eats away the base from which it arises, even so, their own deeds lead transgressors to states of woe. 241. Non-repetition is the bane of scriptures, neglect is the bane of a home. Slovenliness is the bane of personal appearance, and heedlessness is the bane of a guard. 242. Unchastity is the taint in a woman, niggardliness is the taint in a giver. Taints, indeed, are all evil things, both in this world and the next. 243. A worse taint than these is ignorance, the worst of all taints. Destroy this one taint and become taintless, O monks. 244. Easy for life is the shameless one who is impudent as a crow, is backbiting and forward, arrogant and corrupt. 245. Difficult is life for the modest one who always seeks purity, is detached and unassuming, clean in life, and discerning. 246 to 247. One who destroys life, utters lies, takes what is not given, goes to another man's wife, and is addicted to intoxicating drinks, such a man digs up his own root even in this world. Minus 13,248. Know this, O good man, evil things are difficult to control. Let not greed and wickedness drag you to protracted misery. 249. People give according to their faith or regard. If one becomes discontented with the food and drink given by others, one does not attain meditative absorption, either by day or night. 250. But he in who this discontent is fully destroyed, uprooted, and extinct, he attains absorption, both by day and by night. 251. There is no fire like lust, there is no grip like trade, there is no net like delusion, there is no river like craving. 252. Easily seen is the fault of others, but one's own fault is difficult to see. Like chaff one winnows another's faults, but hides one's own, even as a crafty fowler hides behind sham branches. 253. He who seeks another's faults, who is ever senso rious, his cankers grow. He is far from destruct. Tyon of the cankers. 254. There is no track in the sky, and no recluse outside the Buddha's dispensation. Mankind lights in worldliness, but the Buddhas are free from worldliness. 255. There is not track in the sky, and no recluse outside the Buddha's dispensation. There are no conditioned things that are eternal, and no instability in the Buddha's recluse, samana. Here used in the special sense of those who have reached the 4 supramundane stages. The just. 256. Not by passing arbitrary judgments does a man become just, A wise man is he who investigates both right and wrong. 257. He who does not judge others arbitrarily, but passes judgment impartially according to the truth. That sagacious man is a guardian of law and is called just. 258. One is not wise because one speaks much. He who is peaceable, friendly, and fearless is called wise. 259. A man is not versed in Dhamma because he speaks much. He who, after hearing a little Dhamma, realizes its truth directly and is not heedless of it, is truly versed in the Dhamma. 260. A monk is not elder because his head is grey. He is but ripe in age, and he is called one grown old. In vain. 261. One in whom there is truthfulness, virtue, inoffensiveness, restraint and self-mastery, who is free from defilements and is wise, he is truly called an elder. 262. Not by mere eloquence nor by beauty of form does a man become accomplished, if he is selfish and deceitful. 263. But he in whom these are wholly destroyed, rooted and extinct, and who has cast out hatred, that wise man is truly accomplished. 264. Not by shaven head does a man who is indisciplined and untruthful become a monk. How can he who is full of desire and greed be a monk? 265. He who wholly subdues evil both small and great is called a monk, because he has overcome all evil. 266. He is not a monk just because he lives on others' alms. Not by adopting outward form does one become a true monk. 267. Whoever here, in the dispensation, lives a holy life, transcending both merit and demerit, and walks with understanding in this world, he is truly called a monk. 268. Not by observing silence does one become a sage, if he be foolish and ignorant. But that man is wise who, as if holding a balance scale, accepts only the good. 269. The sage, thus, rejecting the evil, is truly a sage, since he comprehends both present and future worlds, he is called a sage. 270. He is not noble who injures living beings. He is called noble because he is harmless towards all living beings. 271 to 272. Not by rules and observances, not even by much learning, nor by gain of absorption, nor by a life of seclusion, nor by thinking, I enjoy the bliss of renunciation, which is not experienced by the worldling. Should you, O monks, rest content until the utter destruction of cankers, hatship, is reached. The path. 273. Of all the paths the Eightfold Path is the best. Of all the truths the Four Noble Truths are the best. Of all things passionlessness is the best. Of men, the Seeing One, the Buddha, is the best. 274. This is the only path, there is none other for the purification of insight. Tread this path, and you will bewilder Mara. 275. Walking upon this path you will make an end of suffering. Having discovered how to pull out the thorn of lust, I make known the path. 276. You yourselves must strive, the Buddhas only point the way. Those meditative ones who tread the path are released from the bonds of Mara. 277. All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification. 278. All conditioned things are unsatisfactory. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification. 279. All things are not self. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification. 280. The idler who does not exert himself when he should, who though young and strong is full of sloth, with a mind full of vain thoughts, such an indolent man does not find the path to wisdom. 281. Let a man be watchful of speech, well controlled in mind, and not commit evil in bodily action. Let him purify these three courses of action, and win the path made known by the great sage. 282. Wisdom springs from meditation. Without meditation wisdom wanes. Having known these two paths of progress and decline, let a man so conduct himself that his wisdom may increase. 283. Cut down the forest, lust, but not the tree. From the forest springs fear. Having cut down the forest and the underbrush, desire, be passionless, O monks. 2284. For so long as the underbrush of desire, even the most subtle, of a man towards a woman is not cut down, his mind is in bondage, like the sucking calf to its mother. 285. Cut off your affection in the manner of a man plucks with his hand an autumn lotus. Cultivate only the path to peace, nibbana, as made known by the Exalted One. 286. Here shall I live during the rains, here in winter and summer, thus thinks the fool. He does not realize the danger that death might intervene. The meaning of this injunction is, cut down the forest of lust, but do not mortify the body. 287. As a great flood carries away a sleeping village, so death seizes and carries away the man with a clinging mind, doting on his children and cattle. 288. For him who is assailed by death there is no protection by kinsmen. None there are to save him, no sons, nor father, nor relatives. 289. Realizing this fact, let the wise man, restrained by morality, hasten to clear the path leading to Nibbana. 290. If by renouncing a lesser happiness one may realize a greater happiness, let the wise man renounce the lesser, having regard for the greater. 291. Entangled by the bonds of hate. He who seeks his own happiness by inflicting pain on others, is never delivered from hatred. 292. The cankers only increase for those who are arrogant and heedless, who leave undone what should be done and do what should not be done. 293. The cankers cease for those mindful and clearly comprehending ones who always earnestly practice mindfulness of the body, who do not resort to what should not be done, and steadfastly pursue what should be done. 294. Having slain mother, craving, father, self. Conceit, 2 warrior kings, eternalism and Nihil-ism. And destroyed a country, sense organs and sense objects, together with its treasurer, attachment and lust, ungrieving goes the holy man. 295, having slain mother, father, 2 Brahmin kings. 2 extreme views. And a tiger as the 5th, the 5 mental hindrances, ungrieving goes the holy man. 296. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily, who day and night constantly practice the recollection of the qualities of the Buddha. 297. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily, who day and night constantly practice the recollection of the qualities of the Dhamma. 298. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily, who day and night constantly practice the recollection of the qualities of the Sangha. 299. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily, who day and night constantly practice mindfulness of the body. 300. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily, whose minds by day and night delight in the practice of non-violence. 301. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily, whose minds by day and night delight in the practice of meditation. 302. Difficult is life as a monk, difficult is it to delight therein. Also difficult and sorrowful is the household life. Suffering comes from association with unequals, suffering comes from wandering in samsara. Therefore, be not an aimless wanderer, be not a pursuer of suffering. 303. He who is full of faith and virtue, and possesses good repute and wealth, he is respected everywhere, in whatever land he travels. 304. The good shine from afar, like the Himalaya mountains. But the wicked are unseen, like arrows shot in the night. 305. He who sits alone, sleeps alone, and walks alone, who is strenuous and subdues himself alone, will find delight in the solitude of the forest. The state of woe. 306. The liar goes to the state of woe, also he who, having done wrong, says, I did not do it. Men of base actions both, on departing they share the same destiny in the other world. 307. There are many evil characters and uncontrolled men wearing the saffron robe. These wicked men will be born in states of woe because of their evil deeds. 308. It would be better to swallow a red-hot iron ball, blazing like fire, than as an immoral and uncontrolled monk to eat the alms of the people. 309. For misfortunes befall the reckless man who consorts with another's wife, acquisition of merit, disturbed sleep, ill repute, and rebirth in states of woe. 310. Such a man acquires demerit and an unhappy birth in the future. Brief is the pleasure of the frightened man and woman, and the king imposes heavy punishment. Hence, let no man consort with another's wife. 311. Just as kuzar grass wrongly handled cuts the hand, even so, a recluse's life wrongly lived drags one to states of woe. 312. Any loose act, any corrupt observance, any life of questionable celibacy, none of these bear much fruit. 3:13. If anything is to be done, let one do it with Sue's timed vigor. A lax monastic life stirs up the dust of passions all the more. 314. An evil deed is better left undone, for such a deed torments one afterwards. But a good deed is better done, doing which one repents not later. 315. Just as a border city is closely guarded both within and without, even so, guard yourself. Do not let slip this opportunity for spiritual growth. For those who let slip this opportunity grieve indeed when consigned to hell. 316. Those who are ashamed of what they should not be ashamed of, and are not ashamed of what they should be ashamed of, upholding false views, they go to states of woe. 317. Those who see something to fear where there is nothing to fear, and see nothing to fear where there is something to fear, upholding false views, they go to states of woe. 318. Those who imagine evil where there is none, and do not see evil where it is, upholding false views, they go to states of woe. 319. Those who discern the wrong as wrong and the right as right, upholding right views, they go to realms of bliss. The elephant. 320. As an elephant in the battlefield withstands arrows shot from bows all around, even so shall I endure abuse. There are many, indeed, who lack virtue. 321. A tamed elephant is led into a crowd, and the king mounts a tamed elephant. Best among men is the subdued one who endures abuse. 322. Excellent are well-trained mules, thoroughbred. Sin the horses and noble tusker elephants. But better still is the man who has subdued himself. 323. Not by these mounts, however, would one go to the untrodden land, Nibbana. As one who is self-tamed goes by his own tamed and well-controlled mind. 324. Musty during rut, the tusker named Dhanapalaka is uncontrollable. Held in captivity, the tusker does not touch a morsel, but only longingly calls to mind the elephant forest. 325. When a man is sluggish and gluttonous, sleeping, and rolling around in bed like a fat domestic pig, that sluggard undergoes rebirth again and again. 326. Formerly this mind wandered about as it liked, where it wished and according to its pleasure. But now I shall thoroughly master it with wisdom as a mahout controls with his ankus, an elephant in rut. 327. Delight in heedfulness. Guard well your thoughts. Draw yourself out of this bog of evil, even as an elephant draws himself out of the mud. 328. If for company you find a wise and prudent friend who leads a good life, you should, overcoming all impediments, keep his company joy. O usely and mindfully. 329. If for company you cannot find a wise and prudent friend who leads a good life, then, like a king who leaves behind a conquered kingdom, or like a lone elephant in the elephant forest, you should go your way alone. 330. Better it is to live alone, there is no fellowship with a fool. Live alone and do no evil, be carefree. Like an elephant in the elephant forest. 331. Good are friends when need arises, good is contentment with just what one has, good is merit. When life is at an end, and good is the abandoning of our suffering, through arahatship. 332. In this world, good it is to serve one's mother, good it is to serve one's father, good it is to serve the monks, and good it is to serve the holy men. 333. Good is virtue until life's end, good is faith that is steadfast, good is the acquisition of wisdom, and good is the avoidance of evil. 334. The craving of one given to heedless living grows like a creeper. Like the monkey seeking fruits in the forest, he leaps from life to life, tasting the fruit of his comma. 335. Whoever is overcome by this wretched and sticky craving, his sorrows grow like grass after the rains. 336. But whoever overcomes this wretched craving, so difficult to overcome, from him sorrows fall away like water from a lotus leaf. 337. This I say to you, good luck to all assembled here. Dig up the root of craving, like one in search of the fragrant root of the birana grass. Let not Mara crush you again and again, as a flood crushes a reed. 338. Just as a tree, though cut down, sprouts up again, if its roots remain uncut and firm, even so, until the craving that lies dormant is rooted out, suffering springs up again and again. 339. The misguided man in whom the 36 rents of craving strongly rush toward pleasurable objects, is swept away by the flood of his cyanate thoughts. 21. The 36 currents of craving, the 3 cravings, for sensual pleasure, for continued existence, and for annihilation, in relation to each of the 12 bases, the 6 sense organs, including mind, and their corresponding objects. 340. Everywhere these currents flow, and the creeper of craving sprouts and grows. Seeing that the creeper has sprung up, cut off its root with wisdom. 341. Flowing in, from all objects, and watered by craving, feelings of pleasure arise in beings bent on pleasures and seeking enjoyment. These men fall prey to birth and decay. 342. Beset by craving, people run about like an entrapped hare. Held fast by mental fetters, they come to suffering again and again for a long time. 343. Beset by craving, people run about like an trapped hare. Therefore, one who yearns to be passion-free should destroy his own craving. 344. There is one who, turning away from desire for household life, takes to the life of the forest, i.e., of a monk. But after being freed from the household, he runs back to it. Behold that man, though freed, he emnes back to that very bondage. 22 345 to 346. That is not a strong fetter, the wise say, which is made of iron, wood, or hemp. But the infatuation and longing for jewels and ornaments, children and wives, that, they say, is a far stronger fetter, which pulls one downward and, though seemingly loose, is hard to remove. This, too, the wise cut off. Giving up sensual pleasure, and without any longing, they renounce the world. 22. This verse, in the original, puns with the Pali word vana, meaning both desire and forest. 347. Those who are lust-infatuated fall back into the swirling current of samsara, like a spider on its self-spun web. This, too, the wise cut off. Without any longing, they abandon all suffering and renounce the world. 348. Let go of the past, let go of the future, let go of the present, and cross over to the farther shore of existence. With mind wholly liberated, you shall come no more to birth and death. 349. For a person tormented by evil thoughts, who is passion-dominated and given to the pursuit of pleasure, his craving steadily grows. He makes the fetter strong, indeed. 350. He who delights in subduing evil thoughts, who meditates on the impurities and is ever mindful. It is he who will make an end of craving and rend asunder Mara's fetter. 351. He who has reached the goal is fearless, free from craving, passionless, and has plucked out the thorns of existence. For him this is the last body. 352. He who is free from craving and attachment is perfect in uncovering the true meaning of the teaching and knows the arrangement of the sacred texts in correct sequence. He, indeed, is the bearer of his final body. He is truly called the profoundly wise one, the great man. 353. A victor am I over all have I known. Yet attached am I to all that is conquered and known. Abandoning all, I am freed through the destruction of craving. Having thus directly comprehended all by myself, whom shall I call my teacher? 23. 354. The gift of Dhamma excels all gifts, the taste of the Dhamma excels all tastes, the delight in Dhamma excels all delights. The craving freed vanquishes all suffering. 355. Riches ruin only the foolish, not those in quest of the beyond. By craving for riches the witless man ruins himself as well as others. 356. Weeds are the bane of fields, lust is the bane of mankind. Therefore, what is offered to those free of lust yields abundant fruit. 357. Weeds are the bane of fields, hatred is the bane of mankind. Therefore, what is offered to those free of hatred yields abundant fruit. 358. Weeds are the bane of fields, delusion is the bane of mankind. Therefore, what is offered to those free of delusion yields abundant fruit.